Hi friends, welcome back to our home. This is part 2 of our Easter decor. I'm having to do several videos, so I will link our first video up there. I won't be able to do the second one right away because I'm still going to be working on that tomorrow. It is now Wednesday before Easter, so I'm sorry I'm very late. It's been so much work. Norm and I just aren't as fast as we used to be. I know I keep telling you that, but it is the truth. We always are finding something new and fun, so our collections of holiday vintage items are growing. So this is something crazy here that I hope you will enjoy. Since Norm had already used all of these eggs that he was collecting, I would point one out to him once in a while. Oh, I see one of them I gotta fix there. If Norm closes the door too hard, they tend to want to fall over. So let me fix that first before I get any closer. There. It is so hard to balance these crazy things. I didn't realize, and Norm wouldn't have realized it either, that some of them come with the pattern on the bottom, starting at the bottom, I should say, like that one. Whereas this huge thing, the pattern is starting on the smaller end of the egg. So that is even harder to prop it up. These are pretty good since they're lying down. This is really cute, isn't it? Very different. And I don't recall, of course, when we found a lot of these, but I was looking inside of them, and they are mostly saying Germany. Some of them don't say anything. And then I actually have found ones that said West Germany. Now that, I think, was this one here. Very old looking. This one is older too, I think. Yeah, I'm sorry again about that ceiling light. These are so glossy, the eggs. So I thought that I could prop some of them up. I have 2 pairs of these, what have been called Lucite lotus candle holders. This pair in orange, and then I have a clear pair that I happened to find many years ago. The orange ones. The white ones I found later, but that was still a long time ago too. So that sure works well, holding these small ones up. And this propped up pretty well. So this is nice. Again, the print starts on the heavier part of the egg. These look again like, you know, the small end. And this one was very hard to prop up, as well as that old one. Really difficult to do this one. I even put an egg, a heavy egg, ceramic one, inside of it to weight the bottom better. I thought that would help. And it did seem to help. Now this one is a bigger size of this one over here. So this is a repeat, but this is smaller. And of course, we just didn't know at the time when we bought that one that we already had it. So this one I love. This has got to be my favorite. Now, this was something Norm found maybe last year. I don't know if he had this the year before, but it is just a wonderful tin, old tin bunny. What a neat cart. Yeah, that is so cool. So I did have leftover this orange straw, which was very fun, and we had these eggs last year. I've got some of them behind me too, in a basket on a rack behind me, but this is the other half. And I have old daisy flowers that I've had for many years, and they were old to begin with. And then these are newer, which I had bought maybe 2 clusters of them many years ago from either Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I think it's really cute when you kind of try to have a mixture of things when it comes to Easter. I thought it would be fun with this crazy runner. I tried to look for runners and I didn't find anything right now. I do use this one often for Halloween, but I thought orange is good. They are real jelly beans. I couldn't resist putting them down. And I wanted to talk about this absolutely crazy vase that Norm just bought for me. It is huge. So that's why I was hoping to prop up the Easter eggs pretty high. Sorry about my squeaky floor too. I saw it at, I think when we went to Eau Claire a week ago. There is a consignment, like a thrift and consignment vintage market that I really wanted to go to. I had so much fun there a year ago and found such neat things. I found some more ceramic eggs, hobbyist eggs. I was thrilled about that. I'd say this is a floor vase, wouldn't you? It's just so big. Hope you think that's fun. I did not talk about Peter Cottontail down there. I'll go look at him too. I think we might have found this this was from quite a while back when we first discovered Antiques of the Midwest LLC. Is quite a long ways for us to drive south in Wells, Minnesota. Yeah, we really found him at a wonderful price. I think maybe there was a discount or something that day. I just couldn't get over how reasonable it was priced and in excellent condition. You find these crazy things rusted badly or no ears. Can you imagine? So yeah, you just crank him up and he plays Here Comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. Yep, it is really cute. I thought I would do more of your collectibles this year for our inside decor instead of my typical beautiful California birds. You know how much I love to use them. I've used them for years for Easter decor, but I chose not to this time. Each year, I have very much enjoyed finding my 3 old, probably 60s, maybe even, I don't know if 70s, they did these Lucite crosses. This one is the most elaborate. I think it would help if I put the light on because it is very glittery. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have the light on right now, but I'm going to do that too in case that helps. Oh yes, look at the difference. So you can see there is a little gold cross in the middle that's probably foil. I don't know that it'd be metal, but you can see the abalone shell pieces in there and little ferns, lots of glitter. So that's my favorite one. This one is abalone shell. And glitter. And the one at the top was possibly agate, little agate pieces and glitter. I think I saw one more in an antique mall and did not get it, and it probably was because of the color. I don't need any more than 3. I did specifically put these nails here for these 3 crosses, and since then I've had to try to find things that would work. And you know, I've had those metal retro starburst or sea urchin little wall hangings here that worked out very well too. But there were 3 crosses on Calvary, and that's why I have them there. Yes. Can you believe the size of this sweet plastic canvas wall hanging? I just found this a few days ago at a Goodwill in the Twin Cities. I think it might have been the Coon Rapids one. They had put away everything pretty much that was Easter, but I suppose they just assumed this would be spring related more so. I could not believe my eyes. It was $4.99. So much work goes into something like this. It was a little bit curled on the 4 corners. As you can see, for instance, this upper right one is quite a piece that's protruding more, and that could easily curl. So I decided first to hand wash it on that setting in my old washing machine, which we bought many years ago and absolutely love. It was the Maytag Bravo commercial series ones, and it has a wonderful gentle cycle that I use all the time, and it did just fine. I put it in with 1 pillowcase just to balance it a little bit. But wow, did it ever come out clean. I didn't think it looked bad to begin with, but somehow the white in this just looks whiter to me. But I'm very, very happy. I think it just looks so bright and cheery. So what I did was glue on a lightweight magnet in the 4 corners, and that really helped to straighten it out better. Sometimes maybe if you have something like this laying flat for a long time, or even get it washed and then lay it flat for quite a while, it might straighten out, but then again, maybe not. I'll bet you anything there are people that would pick up something like that and look at it and think, ew, I don't know, I can't wash it and I can't get it straight. It's just not worth it. $4.99. It sure was to me. I wish it had gone better with this picture over here. This is more turquoise. Actually, it's a little fortunate that the phone is making it more of a blue turquoise. It's actually pretty minty green. in real life, so there's no minty green on that piece, and there's really not much pink at all. I did not have time to print out a new picture for the wall here. I would have gotten something done that was smaller. This is a 13 by 19 paper, so the frame is even bigger than that. I probably would have printed out something 11 by 17. We do have a large printer that I've talked about many times that will take 13 by 19 paper. Very nice Epson printer. So I have had fun for years and years and years making holiday pictures like this to hang up out here in the front usually. And underneath this bunny is every holiday. So what do you think of all this chocolate? I had so much fun deciding, now do I want this one in milk chocolate or do I want it in dark chocolate? Some of them are original. I will show you which ones, but poor Norm, he must have a sore finger. He never complains. These two are original. I've had them for many years, I think, and these two are original. And you can see these are original because they have their little eyes yet. I did not ask Norm to do anything about that, but I did ask him to respray these. I think these two little bunnies were hobbyist, and I think I found them this year, and they were possibly darker, but their eyes did not look nice, and I may have shown you that in a thrifting video. I can't remember if I showed you that, or maybe in a, like at the store when I was getting them. I just don't know. I remember saying, I don't like these eyes. They looked awful. They were too beady, white, a lot of white, and I didn't think they were done very well. So I love them now. They're a little bit lighter chocolate. So this is that crazy carrot vase. Norm did a beautiful job on it. I think you can easily tell that it's a bunny in the middle of a bow and the carrot tops. I did decide to do some old flower stems that I had. So they are not plastic flowers. The flowers themselves are like your silk flowers. But I've always liked that combination of pinks and oranges and plums and reds, all of them mixed together. So I did want something to look alive in the whole arrangement here. Now, I did show these in a thrifting video in the house here on the kitchen table. The lady with the basket is a bell. And I left the ringer inside of her. I just taped it up inside of there. And then I found this little girl much later, like a couple weeks or so later. So Norm has had to try to spray all of these things when it got to be hopefully like 58 degrees. We had one 70-degree day so far in the beginning of April. So that was quite a nice day, and he got a lot done. This was a Target one on the end. This was little brown bunnies that were Taiwan, what do you call that? Homeco. I showed you the little brown bunnies at the store, maybe even, and said I wanted them to be chocolate because I knew how many pieces I was going to be working with. I think they turned out very nice. And these are my 3 latest finds. I don't know if you've seen them. I did have a video that I made in the house here and even possibly at the Goodwill. These 3 were very, very lightweight, and they all were together on the shelf at the store, and they were very painted up. So you will see that, how much bad paint was on them, and they were a gray chocolate. Really not appetizing. Very poorly done. But they were so detailed. I just knew these were going to be fantastic. So thank you again, Norm. You did a beautiful job. The one in the middle, he just finished this morning. This one I love, with the basket full of carrots. Yeah, these 2 were so painted up over here with big bows and different colors. Oh, I couldn't believe. Oh, they were $3.99 each. So to me, that was worth it. Just wonderful. I just wanted to show you these 3 very lightweight hollow rabbit figurines that I just found a couple days ago. This is the Sunday before Palm Sunday that I'm filming this. At our local Goodwill, I was so happy. They were just the kind of thing that I've been looking for, but I don't care for them the way they are. And you might think that seems kind of crazy, but I will show you a dark chocolate bunny that Norm just sprayed. These are a gray brown, and they're not painted very nice. They're very cheap rabbits made in China. I paid $2.99 each for them, and like I say, it's just a really awful gray brown. So this is one from Target that was a set of 3, and I hope you can tell the difference. Look at how gray that is. That doesn't look so good. Whereas this is a much warmer brown, much warmer chocolate. So I don't really care for eyes in the bunnies. That's just me. I want them plain. And this one isn't too bad the way it's painted, but I think they'll be very nice. And I don't know if I want him to use dark chocolate though. I may choose to have these done in the milk chocolate. They are really cute. I was just thrilled to find them at the last minute. Yeah, that's just really poor painting. I hope you'll like them. So these 2 were also part of the 3 that I showed you were in gold from Target. But I did show that in a video. So those, yep, are original, and they're so cute. I won't do anything with them, but they're the only 2 here that have painted eyes. So what do you think of this too? These are 4 big pieces that Norm did for me. The rabbit in the middle, the dish, was a chocolate brown, and I have shown it before. I showed it in previous videos. It was not that great. The glaze did not cover the bumpy parts. There's tiny little bumps, and the glaze just didn't cover it well. It was really weird. It ran off, that can happen. That's typical. But it just didn't look good then, as supposed to be chocolate. It wouldn't look like that. So I asked Norm if he would redo that for me, and he did. It was, like I say, it was originally dark. I believe the label on the bottom says Harry and David, and it is older. So you saw me at the thrift store pick up this. It was an adorable snail, but it was my intention to try one of those composite or resin, they call them resin, I guess, pieces that there's so much of at the Goodwill. I wanted to try one of them, and I just thought the snail was so funny. Of course, he's too big, possibly, for the rabbit. Snails can be very large. I don't know if you knew that, but I looked it up, and they can really be big. Not in our town. So this was one that was very colorful, orangey bunny and very bright limey green lettuce and darker green grass. But I wanted it for either jelly beans or a little tiny plant to put in it. I wanted to try it for that. I Namoran dipped it in the water to wash it, and the paint started peeling off the rabbit. I think it was the rabbit first, that pinky orange that he was. Yeah, so even if I hadn't planned on it being chocolate, I would have had to anyways, because I couldn't believe the paint came off that fast. I didn't soak it. I just put it in there, and wow. This was a little watering can. Isn't that cute? So yes, you could put a plant in there. But I just wanted to put a little chocolate out here. Now here's the beautiful pale rose patterned big basket. I love it. Yeah, I wouldn't do that in dark brown. So everything worked out really well. These are some more of my hobbyist painted eggs that I just love. Look at that crazy one in green and brown and yellow. Isn't that wild? I just love them, and I can't get enough of them. Yep. I save old egg cartons. I have even mini plastic ones. Don't know if you remember any eggs coming in plastic egg cartons. And I have some Eggland's Best ones, and I don't know how many egg cartons I have that I'm storing all of those eggs in when we put them all away. Yep. So down here, I love this Thrifted bird planter. It's probably hobbyist, I don't know for sure, and I just found these orange tinted and pink tinted fern picks. Were they 50% off or not? But there was a lot of sale going on at Michael's. So I stopped in Michael's and found some more fabulous, these beautiful picks that are plastic. I just love them when they're ferns. And you should see the pink ones. Oh, they're so pretty. It's just the edges of them, the top edges. And then you've seen this before, and that's a flowering cactus. And there's the older plastic basket I found many years ago. And my other little ceramic bird. This is very difficult position for me to be in. Oh my goodness. So let's talk about this wonderful retro metal. I just love this book rack. It is higher than the other one was. The other one didn't come up quite that high. and the other one wasn't as long. The other one was sweet. There was probably only 3 shelves. This one has 4, but isn't that a wonderful design on the sides? And the brass balls on the top, I did polish them a little bit when we first got it, but this rack does need painting. There is some chipping going on here and there. We had it downstairs next to Norm's desk where I work too, but he has since changed things around in the basement, so he wasn't using it, and he said it's too high. And I said, well, could you just use the rack that was up here and give me the nicer one for up here? He said, well, are you sure it's gonna fit? I said, yes, they're all very narrow. Yeah, and he really likes this too. This is so nice to be able to walk in our door and see even more fun stuff. And such a beautiful design. I just don't know where we picked this one up, but every time I'd be antiquing, I'd be always looking at furniture. Norm would kind of walk by. He'd just look at the things that were on something like this, and he didn't really think about adding another piece of furniture to the house. And with me, it was always metal. Any kind of metal piece I could find, I would really think about it. Boy, wait till you see what I talked him into for our anniversary. Our 56th anniversary was the 12th. So we just had that anniversary, and that's why we were running around having fun instead of me working harder on our Easter decor like I should have been doing. But just before we were ready to leave Annie's attic, which is a video that I just put out, I didn't show you, but we had just checked out and I saw this heavy wrought iron plant stand. It needs painting because it is rusty, and it is in black, and I don't think I want it in black. He didn't know where I was going to put it. I didn't know where, but I decided my green owl bedroom was where it was going to go. So I know I said in my first video that I may need 3 videos, but I'll probably need more than that if I'm trying to keep the length down, because I have to do the dining room and the living room too. And they're probably going to be late. I'm sorry. I apologize, but you have a wonderful, wonderful celebration of our Lord Jesus arising from the grave and conquering death for us, for all of us, so we can be in heaven together for eternity. Thank you, dear friends, for all of your kindness and your wonderful, wonderful messages. We appreciate you so, so much. Thank you. Have a blessed day. Bye now.